The content creation game has changed. So how do you make content that actually gets engagement, gets you seen, and how do you make content for months at a time? We're diving into all of that today. Here's the deal. I have been creating content for a very long time, and I feel like at this point I've mastered the art of creating more content by doing a lot less work. I know that probably sounds weird, so let me explain. So when I first started creating YouTube videos, I just sort of instinctively knew that I needed to be sharing them on other platforms. So I would create like these mini trailers and teasers. Whole topic of today's video is on how to schedule Instagram posts. So you wanted to know how to do this, and there are a bunch of different tools that you can use to do it, but my personal favorite is Latergram. Scrolling through your Instagram feed and there are other photos to like and people to creep, but just really quickly, I recently discovered how to schedule my Instagram posts, and I want to share how to do it with you, so go to the link in my bio to watch the full tutorial. Now get back to creeping. And I'd be sharing them out on Facebook and Instagram, and then all of a sudden there were all of these other platforms that I had to think about, and it became super overwhelming, and I was like, wait, do I need to create more content for each platform? Do I need to create unique individual pieces of content for each platform? How are you supposed to keep up with this? It was just so overwhelming. I just felt like I couldn't keep up with it all. And then I just brought it back to the basics, and I figured out where I really thrived and how I could use that to my advantage. And you can do the exact same thing, so you can do less while creating more and reaching more people and having an even bigger impact. So I'm gonna break that down. But first, the really simple thing to do is figure out, where do you thrive the most? And for me, it was always video. Video always came the easiest to me. So it was just a natural fit to go in that direction. But really, you have 4 options when you're looking at what kind of content that you want to create and how you can use that pillar content to create more content off of it. How many times am I gonna say content in this video? You can keep count if you want. So basically you have video, you have audio, you have written, and then you have images. Those are the 4 categories of content that you can create. So first things first, where do you thrive most? Comment below and let me know which one of those comes most naturally to you, because that's the easiest and the best place to start. So what you really want to do is figure out which of those platforms plays to your strength and use that as what I like to call, I just mentioned it, your pillar content. That is your pillar piece of content, and it's going to help you create content on every other platform without having to reinvent the wheel and have unique content for every single platform out there, because that's just not humanly possible unless you have a massive team behind you. But when you're first getting started, it's not doable. So what is the best content creation strategy in 2019? Drum roll, please. Repurposing and repackaging. So pretty simple. And I'm gonna break down exactly how we do it in my business to turn one piece of content into tons of other pieces of content for other platforms. So this is broken down into 2 rounds. So round 1 starts with your pillar content. So for us, that is my YouTube video. Let's say it's my How to Become a YouTube Millionaire video. This is exactly how we take that one video and we turn it into all of this different content for all of these different platforms, and we repurpose it and we repackage it. Step 1 is creating a mini teaser to go on Instagram using the exact same footage from the video that we posted on YouTube. Then we do an Insta story, and again, it's using the same footage from the original video. And in this video that I posted a couple weeks ago, I share with you exactly how I drive more views to YouTube on Instagram using Instagram posts and Instagram stories. So make sure you check that out afterwards, and I'll explain exactly how to do it. Then we post to IGTV a full week later. So we take the full YouTube episode and we turn it into an IGTV episode, and it's repackaged in the IGTV 16:9 format. But I don't post it on the same day that I post to YouTube because I want all the traffic just going to YouTube so I can get more results long term from all the views and traffic that are going there in that first 24 hours in that first week. So IGTV, the full video doesn't go up until a full week later. Same thing with Facebook. We post the entire YouTube video natively, meaning that we upload the video directly to Facebook a full week later as well. We also use Twitter graphics. So sometimes this is just the thumbnail of the video, and sometimes it's quotes from the video or just other images from the video. We post those to Twitter to promote it. And we have the podcast. The podcast has been an amazing experiment for me. Truthfully, it started as something I just wanted to try on the side, more of like a hobby. And I don't see it as one of my pillar content platforms. Really, that's always going to be YouTube. And if I can give you one piece of advice, the more you can focus on one platform and really grow it, that one platform, especially using this strategy, will grow everything else. So on the podcast, sometimes we have completely new, fresh content and interviews there that you won't see anywhere else. But other times I will repurpose my YouTube videos, my most popular YouTube videos, and I will put them just audio form onto the podcast with a new intro and outro that's more formatted and repackaged to fit the podcast platform. But it makes it super easy to pump out a lot more content when I'm able to do that repurposing and repackaging rather than creating all new content all the time. Now, for all of the videos that I create as part of my content creation strategy, and what makes it so effective and so powerful is that I try to do all of these well in advance. So I'm a big believer, as you know, that I believe you need to batch content, because I think if you don't batch content, it's really hard to stay consistent, and consistency is one of the biggest hurdles and the biggest problems for creators of any kind. So you may want to do a fresh new piece of content and jump on a trend one week, but at least you have backup content if you need it. So I created a video about my content creation hacks. I highly recommend that you go check that out, and we'll put it in the description below, about how you can batch your content well in advance and how I was able to just go to Europe for basically an entire month and I didn't skip a beat. I had new fresh content coming out every week. I stayed consistent because I had batched ahead of time. So it's really, really powerful to continue to expand your reach, make an impact without having to consistently be working on content. Now this brings us into round 2. So the most important part of round 2 is focusing on the comments that come up when you post these pieces of content to your pillar platform, which for me is YouTube, maybe a podcast for you, or maybe a long form blog post for you. Whatever it might be, pay attention to the comments and the feedback, because the comments and the feedback will tell you exactly what resonated and what hit home the most for the people that were viewing your content. And that allows you to create even more micro content off of that one pillar piece of content. So the really cool thing about all of this is that you have the content at your fingertips once you create that main pillar piece. So the really wonderful little hack or trick that you can use is when I create a video piece of content or I do a live stream of any kind, what I'll often do is get it transcribed, which is all part of SEO, especially on YouTube, and one of the steps that we always tell you to do. But I'll transcribe it and then I'll take little pieces of it and turn it into quotables and graphics for Instagram or Twitter that are based off that one piece of content, but I know hit home and got a lot of engagement. So I know that on other platforms, if we repackage them, they will also get a ton of engagement. I wanted to show you a real-time example of this. So I posted this to Instagram, and I could tell that just one of the lines in my long form caption really resonated with people. So I took that line and I decided I'm going to repurpose this because I've listened to the comments. I know that this really stood out for my audience, so I can repurpose it and repackage it without having to think of any new content and create a brand new post out of it. So you can tell that I took that one line in my caption, reposted it, and repackaged it, and it ended up getting more engagement than the original post. Another thing you can do is if you ever have a speaking engagement, you can take that speaking engagement and turn it into micro videos. And I did this because I was listening to the audience, listening to their feedback, and I could tell that one part of my speaking engagement got more engagement than the rest. So I figured, you know what, I should take that piece and turn it into a micro video on Instagram. And you can see this video alone has almost 10,000 views, and it's not a new piece of content. It's something that I did in my speaking engagement, but repurposed, repackaged it to get even more reach and impact with my content. So this is so amazing because if you take a look at our content calendar, you can see that just one piece of content has now turned into so many other little pieces of content, and they last for months to come. As you can see, this one video that we post onto YouTube becomes all of these pieces of content in just 1 week on all of these different platforms. So we're not creating new content, we're just repurposing and repackaging onto these different platforms. So everything in pink comes from this one video. And this one video is creating content for weeks to come
across different platforms as well in different versions.
So I'm making content for Instagram, for Facebook, for Twitter, for Pinterest, for every platform off of that one piece. And I'm able to schedule things so far in advance that I'm never really stressed about content creation. I basically am always able to work in advance, and it gives me the flexibility. Like I said, if I want to create a video on a whim, I can totally do that, but I also have this bank of content sitting there that I know I can also use just in case something happens, you get sick, your schedule gets crazy. That's why this is so important to consistency and the sustainability of being able to be a content creation machine. As someone who has been active on social media for over a decade, which is so crazy, believe me, I've tried everything. I've tested every app and platform and gadget and tool and technique, and this is the best content creation strategy out there. It just works and it makes your life a lot easier. So you know that YouTube is obviously my platform of choice, and if you want to dive into YouTube and use it to really blow up your business and your brand, I'm going to tell you exactly how I 100x'd my subscriber base and doubled my revenue in my first year of using YouTube in the free training below this video. Just click that link. I also wanted to acknowledge our amazing comment of the week. I just love reading your comments, and it seriously means the world to me that you even take the time to sit, watch these videos, and leave a comment, because I know that you have a million and one other things that you could be doing. So thank you so much for being here. Now you know the drill. If you liked this video, take a screenshot right now. Someone please give me some posing options here because I'm running out of them. And share it out on your Instagram story or on Instagram and tag me. I love seeing your feedback. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified every single time we post a new video, which is every single week. And give me a like if this was helpful for you. I'll see you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.